was 21. It was a very good year.
What's up, guys? This is Greg Ferris with MyoBrain. I know I've been MIA on the YouTubes for a minute. We did just release Hyper Strong, the ebook, so I've been pretty busy with that and also just kind of doing some other things. MyoBrain is booming with clients, and I got traveling to watch people compete and whatnot, so of course that takes priority. But in this video, I did want to kind of give you guys some actual tangible information. This is going to be more on the psychology piece of training and nutrition, is getting results and being successful. But I think this is very, very important to hear. This video is brought to you by White Monster, the Tier 1. So you guys, I want to kind of talk about this specific conversation I had with a client this weekend, but this is kind of the culmination of some trends I've been seeing with a lot of the athletes that I work with online, especially the most successful ones, kind of their attitude towards certain things that happen in their life. Okay, so to give you kind of the small background on this individual, I've been working with her for about 3 months. I would consider her to be not elite, but she's certainly advanced for her training age, for her strength levels. She probably could squat, almost probably 250, 260, 270, something like that. And she's, $140. So pretty damn strong. And again, this is for a recreational athlete. She's not even competitive. So anyways, we're just kind of see each other's emails with how her week went, any kind of changes to training and whatnot. And then she just kind of mentioned that, her rotations are going to be changing a little bit. So she's a third-year medical student. She's in medical school. And she said, so the universities kind of where she trains at, they have kind of limited hours. So what she said was, I'm just going to sign up at a 24-hour fitness so I can go in whenever I want. That way, when I have wacky rotations, I can just go in and train at 2 o'clock in the morning, okay? This isn't something I suggested. This is just something she nonchalantly said, like, oh yeah, when life gets crazy and I have to work for 10 hours at the hospital, I can just go train at 2 o'clock in the morning, so I'm going to go at this gym, right? That's a sort of mindset that I don't think a lot of people have or appreciate, but it's almost kind of a necessity and a requirement to become really good. I'm going to say almost at anything. Obviously, what we're talking about right now is lifting and strength and building muscle and all that stuff, but that's the sort of mentality that I see in a lot of my clients, on the athletes that I work with, that sorts of trend with the people who are really, really good and can kind of get it. And I made a Facebook status about this, and I said that for them, success is not an option, it's an inevitability. So it's not like, oh man, school's going crazy for me, I better just not train for a week so I can get shit done. It's like, I better get all my shit done and then go train at 2 o'clock in the morning because I have to go train because I have to get better. It's not a I want to, it's I need to, it's I have to, right? A couple more examples. We had a client a while back that had some labrum issues with his shoulder. He couldn't do almost any sort of pressing for 2 or 3 months. He told me about his labrum, how serious it was, in an email. In the beginning of that email, and at the end of that email, he mentioned how he wants to squat 3 or 4 times a week now because he can't do any upper body work, right? So immediately after he was told he wasn't supposed to do any upper body work, he thought, oh my God, that sucks, but what can I do to actually get better at what I can do, right? That's in the same exact email he was talking about that. Same thing happened with a client not too long ago, maybe a month ago, had some hip issues, couldn't deadlift, couldn't squat for about 1 or 2 months, especially anything heavy, right? So he was benching 2 times a week. We had progressed him up to 5 times a week during that period, right? And his bench press got a lot better. And all he would talk about during our updates is, man, it kind of sucks that I can't deadlift, but finally he's progressing on bench, and he's benching almost every single day of the week, right? And again, his mindset never got he never got depressed, never got down about it. He's never like, oh, I feel sorry for me because my hip hurts. He was just like, what can I do right now to get better at what I'm trying to achieve? And that's all he was focused on. He got healthy, now he's training and whatever. But again, that mindset of, I hurt my shoulder, let's squat 5 days a week. I hurt my hip, let's bench 5 days a week. I have a crazy schedule, but I'll join a gym that I can train at 2 o'clock in the morning at. Those are 3 examples on the top of my head from people that I've worked with where it's just their mindset drives their success. It's not, they're not going to allow their circumstances, kind of their external environment, even when it's a very valid excuse like a torn labrum, to kind of decrease, to, you know, get down. Oh man, I'm busy. You know, I had this. You know, I moved. Blah blah blah. You know, my life's so hard, kind of a thing. They didn't say that bullshit. It was just like, you know, yeah, shit's harder. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, make some adjustments. But how can I get better, right? So that's my challenge to you guys, to anyone who watches these videos, is to not let your outside circumstances, your environment, to impact you, right? You should be impacting your environment. So if you have to work more and you have to change your schedule, do it. If you get injured, you have to work around something and you can't do an exercise for a month, focus on what you can do, right? If no one around you is super supportive of your bodybuilding, powerlifting goals, who the fuck cares? Still go after it, right? Like, don't let those things control what you want to do, and essentially be like how some of my clients are, and make your success an inevitability, not an option. So that's it, guys. About to go train. Hopefully you like this little pep talk, Eric Thomas style. That's it. Peace.